Hey guys, this is Steve Percy here from Sprint Networks. So today we'll be looking at a customer case study. So how can the Versa Titan solution help transform your network or your business if you happen to run a manufacturing business? Well, we'll be using a customer case study today to answer this question. So the customer that we'll be looking at today is a global giant. We have decided to conceal the name of this customer for confidentiality reasons. So the customer has got more than 50 global locations with more than 15,000 employees. Talking about their network, they had multiple MPLS providers providing them with diverse internet and MPLS at the branches. They did not have a unified approach to their corporate offices or even to their factories around the type of transport they were terminating and the offices to provide site to site or site to cloud or site to their hubs and DC connectivity. They only had a single connection from remote locations to their DC. They had no LTE backup and no local internet breakout. So many of these sites were non-redundant, which drove a particular operational state of their site in order to provide some level of secure communications from that remote location to the DC. So because they had no security, because all the security was centralized at the HQ, they had to backhaul all the traffic from the branches to the HQ for security. At the branch, they had 4 to 6 appliances, which meant appliance sprawl, and all the branches had minimal redundancy. So in a nutshell, they were facing multiple problems. They had to manage all their sites, and that made everything very complex for them. Their costs and the complexity compounded, and this affected the overall resiliency and flexibility of the network. And the end user experience also suffered to a great extent because they had to manage a very complex network. So in short, they had a very difficult network to manage. Things were complex, they were paying a lot of money, and the end users were suffering. So how did Versa Titan help them get around these problems? Well, that's what we'll be looking at in this slide. So the Versa Titan solution is a secure SD-WAN solution managed from the cloud. They had multiple requirements, and the Versa Titan solution seemed to satisfy them all. So they needed to provide a means for all MPLS locations to still have some value and connectivity relative to things like SLA probes, SLA monitoring, and SLA passes. This had to be done because you cannot just flip a switch and get MPLS removed because everybody is connected to the internet. So what did Versa Titan do, or what did Versa Networks do? Well, they had to implement a hub controller, or they had to insert a hub controller which allows for them to have their own controller architecture while leveraging a solution that is managed and hosted in the cloud. Apart from that, they had all their devices with a next generation firewall and UTM implemented at all the sites. And all the devices were rapidly deployed using Bluetooth, which is one of the options that Versa gives you to deploy and activate a device. So the implementation of an active-active design at every branch improved the resiliency and also improved the end user experience. So what did this do? This moved them away from an active passive architecture where they would be paying a lot of money for both the links, where the secondary link would be just sitting around and collecting dust unless there is a catastrophic failure or some sort of an event. So what were the results? Well, the results were stunning. 4 times improvement in overall bandwidth capacity. The appliance sprawl was reduced by 50%, a 100% improvement in site availability because they had multi-link and multi-path WAN to improve the availability and capacity over all transports. And the overall WAN architecture got simplified by 50%. So how can we here at Sprint Networks help? Well, we here at Sprint Networks create, design, and transform IT networks for all types of businesses, irrespective of how big or small they are. So the question you need to be asking yourself is, do I currently have SD-WAN? So if the answer to that question is no, and if you would like to migrate to SD-WAN at some point in time, then all you need to do is approach us for a demo of our Versa Titan solution. So we can arrange a free demo for you or a free trial of our solution for you, depending on your availability. And on the other hand, if your answer to that question is yes, you are currently using an SD-WAN solution, but you're not satisfied with it, then you can follow the same process. You can approach us for a demo, which we are more than happy to arrange for you based on your availability. So how do you get in touch with us? Well, all you need to do is just drop us an email at info@sprintnetworks.com, and we'll reach out to you as soon as we can. Or you can give us a ring on 02-9829-1191. So I'll be back next week with another video. Till then, take care and goodbye.